This is how to donate to my PayPal. You come down here to Poor Man's Sewing, and you mash on Poor Man's Sewing. Then you go over here to About. You mash on About, and right here is to donate to Poor Man's Sewing. Alright, let's look at Numbers 29. And in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no civil work. It is a day of blowing the trumpet unto you. And ye shall offer a burnt offering for a sweet savor unto the Lord. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the 1st year without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deal for a bullock, and 2/10 deal for a ram, and 1/10 deal for a lamb without the 7 lambs, and 1 kid of the goat for a sin offering to make atonement for you. Beside the burnt offering of the month, and his meat offering, and the daily burnt offering, and his meat offering, and the drink offering, according to their manner, for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto the Lord. And ye shall have on the 10th day of the 7th month, and a holy convocation. Ye shall afflict your souls. You shall not do any work therein. But ye shall offer a burnt offering unto the Lord for a sweet savor, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the 1st year, and they shall be unto you without blemish. And for their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deal of a bullock, and 2/10 deal of 1 ram, and several tenth deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs. 1 kid of a goat for a sin offering, beside the sin offering of atonement, and the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering of it, and the drink offering. And on the 10th day of the 7th month, ye shall have a holy convocation, and ye shall do no civil work, and ye shall keep the feast unto the Lord 7 days. And ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. 13 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the 1st year. They shall be without blemish, and their meat offering shall be flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deal unto every bullock of the 13th bullock, 2/10 deal to each ram of the 2 rams, and a several 10th deal to each lamb of the 14 lambs, and 1 kid of a goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 2nd day ye shall offer 12 young bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the 1st year without spot, and their meat offering and a drink offering for a bullock, for a ram, and for a lamb shall be according to their number, after the manner. And 1 kid goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering thereof, and their drink offering. And on the 3rd day 7 bullocks, 2 rams, 14 lambs of the 1st year without blemish, and their meat offering and a drink offering for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to their number, after the manner. and 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 14th day, 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. Their meat offering and a drink offering for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to their number, after the manner. And 1 kid of a goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 15th day, 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs for the first year without spot, and their meat offering, and their drink offering for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb, shall be according to the number, after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 6th day, 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs on the first year without blemish, and their meat offering, and their drink offering for a bullock, and for the ram, and for the lamb, shall be according to their number, after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering before the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, his drink offering. And on the 7th day, 7 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish, and their meat offering, and their drink offering for a bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb, shall be according to the number of the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering, his drink offering. On the 8th day, ye shall have a solemn assembly. Ye shall do no civil work therein, but ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord, 1 bullock, 1 ram, salmon lamb of the first year without blemish, their meat offering, and a drink offering for a bullock or the ram, and for the lamb, shall be according to their number, after their manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. These things ye shall do unto the Lord in your set feast, beside your vows and your free will offering, for your burnt offering, and for your meat offering, and for your drink offering, and for your peace offering. And Moses told the children of Israel, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. Alright, we're on 30. And Moses spoke unto the head of the tribe concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord had commanded. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. That was pretty loud, wasn't it?
It was pretty fast, too.
If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by bond, being in her father's house in her youth. Now, so here's something that a lot of people don't know nothing about. And her father hear her vow, and her bond, wherewith she hath bond her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her. Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bond her soul shall stand. And if her father disallows her in the day that he heareth not of any of her vows, or of her bonds within she hath bound her soul, shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. Now, this is saying if a girl says, hey, I'm going to go do this for you, and her father finds out and says, no, you're not neither, then it doesn't count, because her father said no. All right. And if she had at all any husband, and she vows or uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand, and her bond, wherewith the bond her soul shall stand. But if her husband disallows her on the day that he hear it, then he shall make vow which she vowed, and that which is uttered with her lip, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. In other words, if he says, you ain't doing it, then she's going to be forgiven. But every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. And if she vow in her husband's house, or bound in her soul by a bound with an oath, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bound wherewith the bound her soul shall stand. And if her husband hath utterly made them vow on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceedeth out of her lip, continuing her vow, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her husband hath made it void, and the Lord shall forgive her. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband shall make it void. But if her husband altogether held his peace at her from day to day, then he established all her vows and all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmeth them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. But if he shall any way make them void after that he hath heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. So that means it's on her. It'd be on him. These are all the statutes which the Lord commanded Moses between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. Now, I have to say, before I do anything, and I'll go ask Rick. And that's the way it should be. And he can either say yes or no. And if he says no, that's going to be the end of it. But if he says yes, then I'm going to go ahead and go for it and do it. All right, we're on 31. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel in the Midianites. Afterwards thou shalt be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spoke unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourself unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of the Midians. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribe of Israel shall ye send to war. So there were delivered out of the 1,000 of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war 1,000 of every tribe, them and the Pinehas and the son of Elzor the priest to war, with the holy instruments and the trumpet to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midians, as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all of the males. And they slew the king of the Midians, beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Heor, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also, the son of Beor, they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captive, and their little ones, and took the spoils of all their cattle, and all their flock, and all their goods. And they burnt all their cities therein they dwell, and all their goodly cattle with fire. And they took all the spoil, and all the prey, both of men and of beasts. And they brought the captive, and the prey, and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan, near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priests, and all the priests of the congregation, went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said unto him, Have you saved all the women alive? Behold, those caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. So in other words, he's saying, look, all these women that you brought here are going to make Israel to sin. Now, I was watching a video the other day that was saying that Balaam was the one that told them, you know, hey, look, if you get women and all in there, you'll make Israel sin, and God will be against them. 17. Now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known men by lying with them. In other words, if they've had sex, kill them. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with them, keep alive for yourself. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever hath killed any person, and whosoever hath touched any slain, purify both yourself and your captive on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. All purified, all your raiment, and all that is made of skin, and all the works of goat's hair, and all the things made of wood. And Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war which went to battle, This is the ordinance of the law which the Lord commanded Moses. Only the gold, and the silver, the brass, and the iron, and the tin, and the lead, everything that may abide in fire, ye shall make it go through the fire, and it shall be clean. Nevertheless, it shall be purified with the water of separation, and all the abiding, not the fire, ye shall make go through the water. And ye shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and ye shall be clean, and afterward ye shall come into the camp. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Take the sum of the prey that was taken, both of man and beast, thou and Eleazar the priest, and the chief fathers of the congregation, and divide the prey into 2 parts between them that took the war upon them, and who went out to battle, and between all the congregation. And Levi the tribe unto the Lord of the men of war which went out to battle, 1 soul of 500, both of the person and of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the sheep. Take it of their half, and give it to Eleazar the priest, for an half offering of the Lord. And the children of Israel half, thou shalt take 1 portion of 50 of the person of the beeves, and of the asses, and of the flock, and all the manner of the beasts, and give them unto the Levites, which keep the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the Lord commanded Moses. And the booty, now, this is not, they have taken this word and they have made it a dirty word. Booty means the spoils, like the cattle and stuff like that. And the booty, being the rest of the prey which the men of war had caught, had 600,000 and 70,000 and 5,000 sheep. See here, this is the booty. And 60,012 beeves, and 61,000 asses, and 32,000 persons in all of women that had not known men by lying with them. And the half, which was the portion of them that went out to war, was in number 300,000 and 30,500 sheep. And the Lord's tribe of the sheep was 615, and the beeves were 36,000, of which the Lord's tribe was 12. And the asses were 30,500, of which the Lord's tribe was 61. And the persons were 16,000, of which the Lord's tribe was 32 persons. Was 32. What a number. And Moses gave the tribute, which was the Lord's half offering, unto Eleazar the priest, as the Lord commanded Moses. And of the children of Israel half, which Moses divided from the men that warred. Now the half that pertained unto the congregation was 300,000 and 30,000 and 7,500 sheep, and 36,000 beeves, and 30,000 asses, and 500, and 16,000 persons. Even of the children of Israel half Moses took one portion of 50, both of men and of beasts, and gave them unto the Levites, which kept the charge of the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the officers, which were over thousands of the host, and captain of thousands, and captains of hundreds, came near unto Moses. And they said unto Moses, Thy servant hath taken the sum of the men of war, which are under the charge, and there lack not one man of us. We have therefore brought an obtained for the Lord, that every man hath gotten of jewelry of gold, chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of them, even all wrought jewelry, and all the gold of the offering that they offered up to the Lord. And the captains of thousands and of captains of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. For the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself, and Moses and Eleazar the priest took the gold of the captains of thousands and of the hundreds, and brought it into the tabernacle of the congregation for a memorial for the children of Israel before the Lord. Now that's kind of strange on this one. The people that they got was 32 persons. That's 32 people. To me, that's kind of strange there. Alright, so we will look at 32 tomorrow night if the Lord's willing. And by the way, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.